Oh, here we are. It is the first Sunday of Advent, and also for those of you who are frequent flyers, you'll know that today is the start of Bigner winter, and that's 100 days of winter that my dad and I calculate. It goes from December 1st to March 10th, and it's a fantastic amount of time, and we like to kick it off with ice. So today we have ice, and so I know there's a bunch of you out there that aren't up to coming to church, and that is fine. You got to stay safe today. You got to make smart decisions. So please do that. But just wanted to share our gospel lesson today at church and some reflections on that. Hopefully you can view this from the warmth of a sofa or recliner, and just take some time to kick off Advent in the right way. Remember that we do have those Advent devotionals at church that Mary Wolf put together, and if you'd like one either mailed to you, we can do that. Just email the church at office@stpaulseggertsville.org, or give us a call and we can send one of those to you so that you have a devotional to read every day. So let me read for you the gospel. It's Matthew 24:36 to 44. Jesus said to his disciples, oh, wait a minute. Before I read this, picture like your favorite churchy Christmas song playing in the background. You know, you hear the beautiful images and you're in that Christmas mood now because we're in Advent. So just picture that playing in the background. Maybe it's Silent Night. I don't know. Jesus said to his disciples, about that day and hour no one knows, neither the angels of heaven nor the Son, but only the Father. For as the days of Noah were, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until that day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing until the flood came and swept them all away. So too will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then two will be taken in the field, and one will be taken, and one will be left. Two women will be grinding meal together. One will be taken, one will be left. Keep awake, therefore, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his home be broken into. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an unexpected hour. Friends, this is weirdly the good news. It's the gospel of the Lord. Now, that's a strange one to start our Advent season. What's super strange is that we're supposed to have these images of Christmas already, and my guess is if you're like me or like a lot of people in the culture, you spent a little bit of time over this Thanksgiving winter after the Bills had a dominating performance against the Cowboys. Yes. And you maybe got out the Christmas decorations and started to do some of that stuff. Maybe you made some cookies, you had some family in town. Maybe you're on month 2 already of listening to Christmas music on the radio. But a lot of us are sort of in that mode already. And I think, I know for me and our family, like once that Christmas tree goes up, it's like, boom, we are running towards December 25th. And maybe some of you spent time, doing all the shopping, local, online, whatever it was, and got a lot of those tasks out because there's a lot of those Christmas tasks that happen. So you come to church or you're watching this and you think like, hey, all right, we should be talking about something to do with Christmas at this point. And we got the season of Advent, which is 4 weeks to prepare and get ready for Christmas. So the first week should really start to drive us right towards the manger, right? No, not at all. This isn't a very Christmas lesson at all. In fact, it's sort of a terrible start when you think about it, about anything peaceful. It's got these two women grinding meal to make clearly some nice Christmas cookies for their families, and one will be taken and one will be left. And then you got these two men that are out in the fields working, probably pruning Christmas trees to be the perfect size, or maybe they're putting up lights, and one will be taken and one will be left. And it's like, wow, what just happened? This is not the kind of start that we picture in Advent, but this is what we get. See, it's different. It's not just a season where we look forward to remembering Jesus coming the first time. It's also a season when we look forward to Jesus coming again. And that's very different because we're not used to that in this season talking about the end times. We're used to talking about like the beginning of times, like when he showed up in this little tiny little baby thing and it was nice and pretty and wonderful and the snow was falling in Bethlehem. No, it wasn't. But that's what we picture. And this is anything like that. In fact, Michelle took me to go see Mr. Rogers the other day, and in that movie, in fact, I've got a cardigan on. I don't know if you can see this. See, in the spirit of Mr. Rogers, I wore a cardigan today. It's all peace and hope and beautiful and friendly and marvelous. And when you turn on Mr. Rogers, you kind of you expect that. You expect something really peaceful and wonderful and just feel better about yourself and the world and culture and everything in it. And that's what we expect when we come to church sometimes, or we open the scriptures and we think about Christmas. But we're thinking about the second act or the first act, and this is really Jesus' second act. It's the time of coming back and restarting and saying, listen, I'm going to make everything that is going on in this culture perfect by bringing it all back to me again. And couldn't we use a little bit of that reminder? Was watching the news this morning and heard about this guy that owns a store, a local store. He's just trying to make his shop go well and earn an income for a family. And they calculated that at least 6 people robbed his store last night and took an awful lot of his ATVs and other motorcycles. And the guy is broken as he's listening to this. And we know that there's a lot of brokenness in this world. It's a challenge for us as Christians in this season because we sometimes want to run towards the manger. We want to run towards that safe and peaceful time. I mean, if I was going to invite you into your most peaceful moment, let me just give you that chance to do that. I'll quiet down in a minute and I'll stop talking. And I'm going to just invite you to close your eyes. Don't fall back to sleep, but close your eyes. And I want you just to picture that peaceful moment. I want you, maybe for me, one of my favorite ones is Christmas Eve here at St. Paul's, where we sing Silent Night and we hang onto that candle and we light it and we're reminded of light in the midst of the difficult times of our lives, and we sing that Silent Night. So I just want you to close your eyes with me now. Close them up. Picture that place of peace, that Christmas peace. Maybe there's some snow lightly falling. You can smell cookies, whatever it is, but you've got that sense of peace. You hear that wonderful carol going in the background. Keep awake! Keep awake! It's like a jarring message that comes into maybe our peaceful times. But what I like about the start of Advent is that jarring message also comes into our turmoil too. And I know that there's many of you right now that are recovering from injuries or surgeries, or maybe you're even watching this in a hospital, or you got family and friends that are battling cancer. We have a lot of that right now in our church. I just want you to know that this message of keeping awake especially comes to you right where you are right now, in the midst of your transitions and the tough stuff, because the beauty of faith is that it's not just designed for the peaceful moments. It's not designed for those silent night lighted candle places. It's designed for the times when the wind keeps blowing out the candle or the harsh notes keep overwhelming the beautiful tune that we just remembered in that quiet moment. That's what Advent starts us off with, to remind us that Christ not only came, but Christ is coming again to make the promise that he talked about fulfilled. That's a great gift for us today. As we battle the elements, as we battle the ice, as we battle the snow, it's a real reminder that we have a promise that's going to be fulfilled as Christ returns. Do I know when it's going to be? No. I mean, that's the one thing we know about all the folks that predicted it. Every one of them has been wrong. But instead, we're not supposed to be geared towards that end time. We're supposed to be geared towards looking for it. Looking for this Christ present with us again in a beautiful and amazing way. And I know there's a lot of you who have tried faith, you've tried church, you've tried religion, whatever word you want to use, spirituality. You've tried it and you kind of feel like you just get let down time after time. It's a battle. I get that. I'm a lifelong Bills fan, and as I watch this season unfold, I keep seeing and waiting for the other shoe to drop. You know, how many times has it looked like, oh man, we are going to win it all. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. And then something terrible happens and we plummet into like another 8-8 season or something. And even as I watched on Thanksgiving Day, you know, I was waiting for something to go wrong, but it didn't. And maybe this season is different. You can start to feel hopeful again. Well, that's what Advent's about. It's a reminder for us to restart this new year in the church year, to restart a new hope and a new look towards waiting for Jesus, waiting for this coming again and coming now into our stuff, into our icy days, our tough moments, our difficult circumstances in life. Right there. That's where Jesus restarts our Advent, with his presence and love and grace, and a reminder that he's coming again to fulfill this promise. So my prayer for you this Advent season is that you're able to A, get out of your house once the ice is gone, but B, make sure that we restart our Advent journey. Restart looking for Christ again, not just the one who came a long time ago, but the one who's coming again into our daily life, into all the things that we do, from grinding the meal to working in the fields to everything in between. My prayer for you is a blessing of Advent to restart, that you will know of God's love and grace, not just from a manger a long time ago, but from a coming Christ right into your life. Amen.